Hi, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be an in-depth review of the 7 fragrances from the Louis Vuitton Perfume line. And just a disclaimer up front, these are just my personal opinions. Everyone's going to have kind of their different experiences with it, and also when you have fragrance oils on your skin, it develops differently depending on things like your skin's pH level, how hydrated your skin is, as well as environmental factors like the temperature, humidity, and so forth. I'm gonna do this alphabetically, and so the first one I'm starting off with is Apogee. This one, the top notes in terms of strength, I'd say it's medium, it's bright, floral, I think it's jasmine-y. I know the description says lily of the valley, so it's that kind of fresh floral. And on the dry down, it smells more smooth. Not very musky, but it's almost like a hint of musk and floral because it actually reminds me a lot of Kilian's Musk Oud. Not as deep as the Kilian, but it has that similar smoothness on the dry down. The way I tested it was after I showered, I put them on my wrist. I dabbed it on my wrist, and every so often I would smell it to see if the fragrance changed and if I could still notice it. So for Apogee, it actually stayed on my skin for about 7 to 8 hours. Again, that's going to depend if you're going to get sweaty while you wear it, how hot it is outside, how moisturized your skin is. I can say that if you want it to last longer, your skin should be moisturized, but of course you should be using an unscented lotion or even body oil. The next one is the Contre. This one is definitely very vanilla. The opening notes are quite strong, but it's more of an airy vanilla because it's balanced with florals. So it's not that traditional vanilla that you often get with more run-of-the-mill fragrances. This one on the dry down actually maintains its character pretty well, but it does become more warm and a bit more like what I was just explaining, the run-of-the-mill vanilla scents. But it's still quite pleasant and very distinguishable. This one had more of a 6 hours on my skin. The next one, this one I had actually was my first purchase. I purchased the 100 milliliter. This is the Peau. This one, you can immediately smell leather when you spray it on your skin. It's also a strong top note. It's leather mixed with jasmine. On the dry down though, it's a little bit more powdery, an average of leather and floral, so it's not quite as distinct as it starts drying down. It lasts maybe 4 to 6 hours depending on how you wear it. The leather and the floral kind of fades off in different intervals. But this is my favorite because the leather scent in this one is the most distinguishable from all 7, and in my opinion, it's also the most masculine. The next one, this is my second purchase, Matière Noire, or Dark Matter. It's kind of the most unique in terms of the top notes are both sweet and woodsy, and depending on, I guess, how you smell it or how it develops in your nose, you can get more of the sweet scent or you can get more of the woodsy scent. And this one is also quite strong. This maintains its character fairly well throughout, and this one lasts, I think, actually the longest. It lasts for over 8 hours. Of course it does fade, but you can actually still smell it pretty well at 8 hours. The next one is Mille. Feux. This one I really wanted to like. I do enjoy the initial scent. You can detect the raspberry, and it is a lighter leather note in there. This one is quite light, the initial top notes. The problem I have with this one though is, first of all, it doesn't last that long, at least on my skin. It fades to a powdery scent pretty quickly, and I can really only detect this scent for about 2 hours on my skin. But another strange thing is I've tried this a couple times, and in one instance the dry down actually became quite sour and not that pleasant. The next one is Rose de Vent. I think this one is the most popular, and you do definitely get in the top notes rose with some more sweeter florals like jasmine. The rose in this one in terms of the top notes isn't that more pure earthy rose. So I mean, if you go to a forest and you smell a rose, it's sweet, but it also is balanced more like an earthy green kind of a scent. This one doesn't seem to have that. It is more on a sweeter side. By no means overly sweet. It's definitely very pleasant. Dry down actually maintains fairly well. I think the rose is the first to fade as it dries down and it becomes more of that sweet floral, but it maintains fairly well. This one was about 4 to 6 hours. And the last one is Turbulences. This one is a quite strong initial note, basically pure tuberose. That's really all you can smell is that flower. And on the dry down, it maintains really well, probably the best out of all 7. It kind of gets a little bit more earthy, but that could just be my skin's oil interacting with it. This one was more of a moderate longevity on my skin. This one smells almost identical to Diptyque, the Dew Son. It smells almost indistinguishable because I have the solid perfume and they both use tuberose as really the main element, so they both pretty much smell the same. So that's it for my review. I still wanted to get this kind of short so I wasn't, let's say, talking too long for each, but hopefully the information on the right was helpful. And I'm interested in knowing what you think is your favorite and which ones you like best or not so much. My favorite, as I mentioned, is this one and this one, actually right next to each other alphabetically. And those are the 2 I purchased, which is just in the background. Just an update on the giveaway that I did. So I did select a winner. I'm gonna post the winner's name on that video just if anyone's interested once I get that shipped out. And that's it for this video. I hope this was helpful, and if you like more of my videos, please subscribe. The latest updates will be on my Instagram. I don't just post things on my YouTube channel, but just kind of everyday things, and sometimes like to get a little creative. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.